What is up, everybody? Welcome to the official first video of Moto Outsider, where we are going to recap the San Diego Supercross race, both 450 and 250. I got my main man, Chris Baird here. Dude, how are you?
I'm good, Matt. What's going on today?
Dude, well, one, sweating because it's hot down here in Florida today. How's everything up in Delaware, man?
It's been raining all day. It's cold, and I wish I was in Florida sweating because I'd rather be warm than cold any day of the week.
Well, my dude, you are about to be in Florida because we're going to the Tampa Supercross race. And as we mentioned in the last video, if you guys are going to be in the Tampa Supercross race, please come on out, say hi to us. We want to meet you guys, get to know you guys, get you involved. But also, too, it'll be sick just to see this grow and take off. So the more you guys can come out, hang out with us, we appreciate it. And it's gonna be a fun ride. But as always, Chris Baird is the Supercross and Motocross savant. So how this format is going to work going forward and what you can expect in future videos is I'm going to pretty much give my thoughts and opinions and ask Chris questions. We're going to ping pong back and forth. We definitely disagree on some things, but also agree on some things. So we want to make this a healthy discussion, but also at the same time, we don't agree on everything. So it is what it is. And one thing that I know about Chris is that he is pretty opinionated. So y'all are going to see that.
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm more fair than anything. So I'm just going to let you know what I think, and I'll give you a reason why. I'm not just going to spit out some random BS. Justin Barcia has a history. We're going to get into that. Bam
he does, because I've got my opinions on Justin Barcia from a more business perspective, and I know you look at it from more of like a racing holistic feel. So you can expect Chris to give you the more real race ready type answers, and I like to look at things through more of a business long-term lens. So that's why I think we're going to be a good mix for this. But dude, let's jump right into it. Do you want to start 250s or 450 main?
Let's just get the 250s out of the way because, I mean, honestly, not too much happened, and it wasn't super exciting, but we got to at least cover it, right?
Yep. So let's talk about how boring the 250s is because Jett Lawrence is going to win everything, and that just is what it is.
Unfortunately, I kind of agree with you. Austin Forkner's departure from Anaheim 1, I think, kind of ruined any chance we had at Jett losing a race, if I'm being honest with you.
100%. I don't think RJ has the speed. He finished like 3 or almost 4 seconds off of Jett's speed to round out the main. So it's like, dude, the 250 is going to be boring. I think a lot of people agree with that, but I mean, it just is what it is.
Absolutely. And, it is possible that we do get another winner. Last year in Indianapolis, McAdoo was racing with Jett. They both raced each other, and Cameron straight up passed him and beat him heads up. So it's not impossible, but Jett he's just on it, He's back-to-back champions possibly this year. He's coming into this thing with a head of steam, and I don't see anyone beating him, unfortunately.
So, I mean, quite honestly, is it maybe the top 5? This can transfer into any racing segment, but dude, you have Lawrence, Hampshire, McAdoo, Lopes, and Brown. I don't see anybody out of the top 5 that could truly hang with any of those boys, unless I'm wrong. What do you think?
I think that you're definitely right. I think RJ has obviously a history of crashing, and I think he's trying to play it safe these first couple rounds because God forbid Jett did get hurt. He's the guy. He's second in points right now. Cameron,
there is a team strategy to it, right?
There is, absolutely. And Cameron has been dealing with some injuries. Last year wasn't great for him. Obviously, we saw him fold over that bridge at Daytona. What was that, 2020, I believe? Or 2021. So we don't want to see that happen again. But it's going to be hard for someone to really step up to the pace because Jett went out last night and raced, I believe, at 80%. Mm-hmm. And Cameron was catching up, and he kind of picked it up a little bit. I mean, what do you think about that?
So here's my thoughts on this. Number one, I'm not a fan of Alpine Star gear, but the Alpine Star gear from that race looked damn good.
All right.
But number two, man, I think without a question, I think we know how the top 3 is going to shake out. So that is what it is. I think you're going to see more fun in the 250s and the LCQs than you will in the main events because we know what's going to happen in the main events. I mean, what do you think about that?
No, absolutely. It's going to be nothing but carnage in the LCQs. These guys are
going
to be fighting for. It's way more fun. These guys are going to be fighting for spots, and there's more spots than ever, I believe, on the West Coast. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of scrolling through the list here. Mostly privateers. I was really impressed with Wilson Todd. He went down, unfortunately, but Dylan Walsh broke into the top 10 for a while. He's someone who could really step up and get in that top 10. Derek Kelly ran 9th. He's on the AEO KTM, I believe, but for him to be in there every week, I think that's going to be really cool to see. There's just a lot of opportunities for guys to jump in this top 10 spot.
I think so, too. And I forgot what it was for. Was it Anaheim where Jett posted the fastest lap period where it was like a sub 1 minute lap? Was that one of the Anaheim races?
I believe so, yeah. Jett was flying.
Yeah. So I think it all just comes down to that. We're in the era of domination for Jett Lawrence. So, dude, to wrap this up for the 250s, here are my thoughts. What do you think about this? Do you think Jett will be a 450 flop? Meaning, do you think he's going to dominate in the 250s like he has been, undeniably, like greatness on a 250? Does he have what it takes to run in the 450s at the top? I would say, let's say inside the top 8.
I do. I truly do. I know that the outdoors is different than the indoors, but he straight up passed Chase Sexton at the Motocross of Nations at Redbud. Really impressive feat, considering he's only been, a few weeks on the 450 at that point, and Chase rode it all summer against Eli. So if I'm in a 450 class right now, I'm a little bit nervous about next year because Jett's supposedly moving up this summer to the 450. We're going to get a taste of that sooner than we think, honestly.
All right. So, dude, we're going to shift to the 450s because now I want to get your thoughts on what's going on with Tomac, right? So
what is going on? I mean, he's killing it.
Right. So he is. But so hear me out. You remember the era of Ryan Villapoto.
Yep.
The era of Dungey.
Yep.
And then you're with Tomac now. I feel like Tomac is going to be much more of a legacy rider. And what I mean by that is we're talking to the likes of like RC, what's his name? Jeremy McGrath. I think he's going to have that level stats to him. I get a different feel from watching Tomac ride and race and win and how he carries himself rather than those other guys did. So like I said, I think it's the era of Jett Lawrence but then you have the legacy of Tomac. What do you think about that?
I agree with you. Some say Jett is generational talent, which Hunter's great, but he's blown Hunter out of the water when it comes to race wins and just being consistent.
There's no comparison.
There isn't.
Right.
And Eli Tomac has been in this class. I think this is his 10th season, he said. And he's about to pass Ricky Carmichael for the all-time Supercross wins, which, mind-blown. You grew up watching Ricky Carmichael, so dominant. In my opinion, Eli has had a more diverse and more difficult field to race against. He was racing James Stewart. He was racing these guys. He raced Dungey. He raced Villapoto. I think it's amazing what Eli has done, and I really do think that he, like you said, he's going to be a legacy racer. You're going to know him for the crazy rides he had and all these different events that he was just 10 times better than anyone else.
And now here comes the business hat that I'm putting on, because if you listen to the interview that he did with his dad, John Tomac, about why they left Cowie to go to Yamaha, and now you see that coming to fruition with Yamaha.
Yep.
It's interesting because there's almost an aura around that team and him on that bike, the Yamaha bike.
Yep.
It's as if it's effortless. There's a good vibe. I feel like there is no business athlete relationship. It is strictly we are all on the same team. We are one cohesive unit.
Yep.
And that's why I think Tomac's rides are so damn dominant, where a lot of these other guys are just stuck with the rider-team relationship. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though.
No, I think you're right. They're all one. They all want to win. And it's just little things you look at. Eli Tomac, the team runs pro taper bars and everything, but he runs Renthal grips because that's what he likes, and the team lets him do what he needs to succeed. Little things like that just show their domination. It shows how bad they want to win.
Well, right, exactly. And the fact that they're willing to make those sacrifices, regardless of what sponsorships are and everything, and invest in their rider means a shit ton. So, dude, let's go to the main event results, and then we'll just pick. We'll ping pong on some things that happened in the heat races. I want to talk about my guy Malcolm Stewart because I love Malcolm Stewart. I love Malcolm Stewart for so many reasons. But dude, raced the hell out of that 250. The 450 heat race that he won. Dude looked sick. And then the wheels fall off in the main event. So what do you got?
Yeah, unfortunately, he took a pretty nasty crash on probably the first or second lap right in the whoops. He fell very similar to how Chase Sexton fell. I kind of look at the KTM Husqvarna Gas platform. Wonder if he's got that bike set up how he likes, because there's a lot of rumors that Christian Craig is not happy with his bike. Their teammates, I'm guessing they're struggling to find some things. Maybe they don't have the setup that Cooper Webb has, because I don't know about you, but I thought Cooper Webb looked better in the whoops than Eli Tomac did almost all night.
So I think, I think Cooper has the body type of what a 450, like what a professional motocross supercross rider should be. Dude, short, stout, and fast as shit, right? Malcolm has a lot more leverage over the bike because he's not 5'2", or 5'4".
Yeah.
So he has that kind of that muscly edge to him. But I think just based off Cooper Webb's size, he flows much better with the bike. But I know it's, people could probably cut that apart, but I just think physicality wise, Malcolm might have a little bit tougher time on a bike, because you're bigger than me, but I struggled on bikes due to my size. Always felt uncomfortable, but it's just a different story.
And maybe there is something to that, being like maybe a certain height and then being like super tall, super short.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe being in the middle, that's a little difficult. And that's something that is possible. I think it is hard for Malcolm at times. It's harder to move around on the bike being so big. And
yes,
I just don't know how many more of these crashes he can take, because for the second week in a row, he went over the bars in a rhythm section. He got up and kept riding, but I just don't see his season being successful if he can't keep it on two wheels and stop making these stupid little mistakes.
For sure. No, I agree with you. That's why it'll be interesting to see when you dust the cobwebs off. So we're coming into to the latter part of the season. We'll have to see how things shake out, because it is still kind of new. I feel like everyone's still kind of getting back into the groove of Supercross. I feel like next race will be the delineator where it's like, all right, dude, you got to figure it out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But dude, let's scoot right to the top. Let's talk about Justin Barcia and Ken Roxon and how things played out with Chase Sexton too, because that was a fun battle to watch. So we differ here on Justin Barcia. And again, I'm putting my business hat on here, guys. Don't shoot me. But Supercross would be extremely boring, motocross probably, if Justin Barcia was not in the game. And here's what I mean. As much as you don't want to maybe come to grips with this or realize this, the dude sells tickets because people like seeing people get smashed.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of good, clean, hard racing, because you can't beat watching a fantastic battle. Like for the 450 event with Dylan Ferrandis and Malcolm Stewart.
Yep.
Dude, in that heat, dude, they were battling, racing hard, didn't clean each other out. It was good racing.
No contact.
But man, in those mains, when money and points are on the line, dude, you got to get dirty. It is what it is. Why would you not want someone in Barcia keeps riders on their toes. Why would you not want someone like that on the track? But those are my thoughts.
No, I agree with you on that aspect of it. It is very interesting. And I mean, we're both from upstate New York. Barcia's from downstate New York, but still, we should probably be bigger Barcia fans than we are. But I don't know. I see two different sides. I think that he could be the aggressive rider that he is without making the dirty passes that he makes. Again, he went right for Ken Roxon's front tire as he's on the outside going over a double. Could have been bad. He could have jumped off the track. Obviously, it played out okay. And actually, I was reading Ken Roxon's Instagram post today. He posted about the race, and people were talking crap, just saying that he's a little too conservative and scared of Barcia. But what he said was true. He's very smart. He was being smart with his decisions. He could have went for that third place, but he probably wouldn't have ended up on the ground. So it wasn't worth it for him. It's his second race of the year on that Suzuki. I don't really agree with Barcia's move, especially on Sexton, but it's racing, right? That's who he is. He's Bam Bam. Yeah,
that's racing. You gotta run with your brung, right? And plus the history that him and Jason Anderson have as that shakes out into the rest of the season, gonna be interesting to watch as the points tighten up, because they will.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, last year you saw Barcia take Anderson out at round one. Barcia went online and said, "Hey, I bought some Team Pride merch and everything's cool." They kind of understood.
Yeah.
I don't think they're on the same page anymore.
We'll see. We will see. Like I said, Tomac won. The 450 shook out. Tomac, Webb, Barcia.
Yeah.
If you watch the press conference at the end, it's all love. It's all boring, too. They ask the same old boring questions. But, dude,
as always,
do you think Tomac is going to check out every single race and just dominate like what we saw from Dungey before his departure? Just whole shot, main win, that's it. Everything that happens in the middle is much more exciting. What do you think?
Going into the season, I did not think that was going to happen. As you know, people come into the season on a new bike, a new platform. Very difficult to get back to speed. And we saw that with Cooper Webb last year. Cooper Webb was not the same guy that won the championships in 2019, 2021. Totally different Cooper. I do think it's going to be interesting to see if anyone can keep up with him. Cooper was on another level last night. I think with one good mistake, he could have caught and passed Eli, but Eli's gelling with that new bike. And I don't know about 100%. You, give me your opinion on this. I think the field is kind of set in stone. I think Eli and Cooper are the guys this year. I don't think anyone else is going to get in their way when the championship comes to an end.
Dude, as much as it pains me to say this, I am not a Jason Anderson fan, but I love how he rides when he's up towards the top, like top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
And then we'll round out the video with this, the recap with this. what is your thoughts on Ken Roczen in the future for Ken Roczen coming into this Supercross season, but outdoors? Back on a Suzuki. Social media stuff looks good. Looks like he's got a good vibe with the bike. Give me your closing arguments for Ken Roczen in this San Diego race.
Yeah, I think Ken Roczen made huge strides. He said today that he kind of got in touch with Factory Connection to get the bike dialed in a little bit more. Stopped working with who the team was working with. He's trying to make changes and make this bike comfortable for him. Similar to the bike he won the championship on in 2016, but totally different as far as the motor and all the different parts and specs on the bike. They're not getting the same support from Japan. But I think that Ken is going to do everything he can to get comfortable. And I can see him being a threat for wins this summer. If he can keep making these little strides every week, getting good starts, being consistent, and fighting, not giving up like he did this weekend, I see no reason Ken Roczen can't win races this Supercross season and be a contender in outdoors, especially if Tomac's not there.
Very good point. Guys, that is the 250 and 450 recap for the San Diego Supercross race. Please drop your comments down below. What were your thoughts on the race? Highlights? What did we miss? And of course, dude, welcome to our very first initial video. This was super fun, our first recap too. And we're going to have all these videos coming forward for all the races down the line. And then every race we can get to, we're bringing you content directly from there. But as always, my name is Matt. Got my man Chris Baird here. Chris, give him a sign off for us.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment. Let us know how we did. Subscribe, please. Most people watch these videos and don't subscribe. It doesn't cost you any money, and it just helps us grow. And we want to give back to you guys. We need to grow to do that. So, again, thanks for stopping by. Love you all.
Yep. Oh, and share this with your friends, too, because we're out here to change the game. We're bringing a different perspective. Share this with your friends. We would appreciate all the love. But, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. We will see you next week. Moto Outsider, out.